Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Today we will explain one of the problems with regional autonomy law in Semarang, but before that we would like to introduce ourselves first. So my name is Niken Rachmat, and there's also Esa Maulana Wibowo, Zidan Abrar, Awallia Septiyana Putri, and Rizkiya Jasmine. Problems in regional and urban planning and development have become a phenomenon that we often encounter in regions in Indonesia, one of which is Semarang. Regional and city planning and development aim to organize urban planning spaces to support the realization of a clean, healthy, orderly, and comfortable city with adequate facilities and infrastructure. However, in its implementation, many problems arise. One of them is the emergence of street vendors or PKL. Currently, street vendors have become commonplace in every city, one of which is the city of Semarang. However, the presence of street vendors starts to cause conflict when they occupy public spaces such as sidewalks for pedestrian ways, on-road shoulders, parks or green spaces, and above drainage channels considered economically strategic, causing a decrease in the quality of the urban environment. The unorganized presence of street vendors has caused discomfort and disorder to several people. For example, street vendors who use the sidewalk to sell have made pedestrians unable to use the sidewalk.
From the presence of these street vendors, we have found the problems, namely, first, the use of road shoulders and sidewalks should be for pedestrians. Second, environmental hygiene problems due to indiscriminate disposal of waste by sellers and buyers. And third, the existence of street vendors who are not well organized can interfere with the existence of green open spaces. For example, street vendors who open kiosks or stalls close to the green spaces, like trees or plants, can interfere with the existence of these trees and parks. For the impact, the presence of street vendors who are not organized will have an impact on the surrounding community. In general, the presence of these street vendors of course make conditions become disorganized, disorderly, and creates a slum environment. More specifically, the following are the impacts that arise. First, congestion due to the use of the shoulders road as a parking lot for the street vendors' consumer vehicle. Second, by using the sidewalk as a place to sell street vendors, pedestrians have to face a high risk because they have to walk on the shoulder of the road that should be reserved for the motorized vehicle. And the third, the decline in the quality of health surrounding community due to the disturbed cleanliness of the environment.
With the decentralization concept used in Indonesia, local governments can issue regulations according to local community conditions. Referring to the problems above, the Semarang city government issued regulations below. The first one is Article 31 regarding the rejuvenation of the street vendor locations. It says that local governments can rejuvenate the street vendor locations at the target locations. This provision is stipulated in Semarang City Regional Regulations Number 3 of 2018 concerning structuring and empowering street vendors, or we can call it Perda Kota Semarang Nomor 3 Tahun 2018 tentang penataan dan pemberdayaan pedagang kaki lima. And the second is Mayor's Decree Number 511.3 1112 of 2016 concerning the determinations of land or location of street vendors in Semarang City, or we can call it Keputusan Wali Kota Nomor 5113-1112-2016 tentang penetapan lahan atau lokasi pedagang kaki lima di Kota Semarang.
There is two solutions offered by the government. The first one is socialization, or providing counseling to street vendors regarding government regulation. The government has conducted socialization to introduce the policy to the parties involved in the policy. However, when the government did the socialization, not all the street vendors participated in the socialization, so that many street vendors do not understand the purpose of the policy. The second solution is relocation or granting of land to street vendors who sell in inappropriate places to places that match the target market of the street vendor. In accordance with the Regional Regulation of Semarang City Number 3 of 2018 concerning the arrangement and empowerment of street vendor, Article 29, says street vendor who occupy location that suitable for designation and not according to the designation can be moved or relocated. After the relocation was carried out by the government, street vendor had moved to the relocation site, but not for a long period of time. In addition, the number of street vendors was not balanced with the availability of land. So there were still traders, street vendors who sell online that is not owned by the government.
So there are several solutions we can offer. The first one is the government should be more firm in enforcing the rules. The second is the government should provide opportunities for street vendors to participate in decision making. The government provides good services, builds and finds strategic plan for trading, and government must pay more attention to the welfare of street vendors. And the last one, the government, the street vendors, and the local communities must have a good and directed communication so that no party is harmed, so that the government regulations can run well.